So if you have one function multiplied by another function, you're going to be looking at product rule. Do you see any way to do this that does not involve product rule? So what is x times x? I could rewrite this as x squared. Option one is to do algebra first. So if I do algebra first, I just say, wait a minute, x times x is x squared. So then when I take the derivative, I know how to take the derivative, and I get a prime of x is equal to 2x. Now let's do it the other way, because you absolutely can do it with product rule. So if I do product rule is, I feel, the easier one to remember than quotient rule, right? You just identify your two pieces, which we could call lots of things. Let's call them f and g for now. And so a prime of x is going to be f prime times g plus f times g prime, right? So if we can identify the f, the g, the f prime, and the g prime, we are good to go. So f here would be equal to x. G would also be equal to x, right? So f prime would be 1, and what would g prime be? 1. So now if I plug that into the pattern, I'm going to get a prime of x is equal to, I'm going to have placeholders for each of these things. I'm going to have f prime of g, so I'm going to have 1 times x plus, and then I'm going to have f times g prime, which is x times 1. That's x plus x, which is 2x. So if you just did the product rule and stopped, you would get this, but of course you would simplify it and you would get a prime of x is equal to 2x. So either way you do it, whether you do algebra first or take the derivative first, you're going to get the same thing either way. So then, that actually is the case with this other one as well, this b of x. So let's look at b of x. B of x is equal to x squared times x, right? B of x is equal to x squared times x. Yeah, we can do algebra as our first option, because if we do the algebra first, this actually becomes quite a bit simpler. We're going to end up with, hey, that's just x cubed, or x to the 3. So then after I do the algebra, I can take the derivative using power rule. So the first way is we're going to look at the algebra. We're going to say x squared times x is equivalent to x cubed. If I simplify it algebraically, then I'm just taking the derivative of x cubed. So the derivative of power rule is b prime of x equals 3x squared. That's our first option that we could do. The second option is, if we don't want to simplify it first, we could just do product rule directly. And so we could say this is f times g, and my f is going to be x squared and my g will be x. So then what will my f prime be? 2x. My g prime will be 1. So now I can plug this into the product rule pattern as b prime of x is equal to 2x times x plus x squared times 1. Now, if I want to simplify this, so I would have b prime of x is equal to 2x squared plus x squared, which is the same thing I got over here. It's actually equivalent to b prime of x is equal to 3x squared. So either way that I did this, whether I did the algebra first and then did power rule, or I did the algebra second and after I did product rule, either way I end up with an equivalent answer. And so in terms of the final answer, it doesn't really matter which way you like to do it better, but you do want to get it as simple as possible.